Hello.
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 Hola.
Welcome to the
Hola,
podcast. It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
I've been thinking of doing a bit on stage, and I don't know what the bit's going to be, but I just think it's really funny to do like an impression of one of the Boston Dynamics robots.
Yeah.
Do you know the way they kind of like move? Like you can just go about the stage and then just be like... I just think they'd be like, isn't it so mad that that's what's going to kill us all? Just this wee fucking like Peter Crouch.
You're doing a Boston Dynamics robot kind of anyway, a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You know?
You found me out. I'm the world's first Boston Dynamics comedian.
Because you do, like, you do the, you know? You do a lot of that. Last night we were doing a gig together and you were hosting.
Oh, it's a tough one. It's always a tough one.
No, it's a tough. It's down this place called, it's like the underground.
You're not supposed to say, I'll edit that out.
Edit that out. But whatever.
It's a private members club.
Private members club, you know, we're down there, you know, just being little fucking laugh monkeys for evil people. And so we're down there and we're doing, oh, look at, telling them what it's like to be poor. And they're like, how wonderful. And
it's real Courtchester stuff,
it's
isn't it?
such Courtchester stuff. And but I remember, but you slipped in because you were hosting and you slipped in like just a dark joke at the start as a little tester, and just everyone was just like nothing. And then you just wait for a minute and then you go,
just like, that was the end.
Yeah.
It's your job now.
Yeah.
Laugh.
Yeah. It's funny because
you're up.
Yeah. It's kind of like, now throw the ball back to me, you know? But yeah.
And people came up to me afterwards. They were like, hey man, we've seen you a couple of times here. Oh, he's a very tricky crowd, man, but we really like it. And I was like, thank you. Please come see me somewhere that isn't this.
Yeah. I mean, I guess what they're saying is, because people say that to you, like when people say it to you after gigs, or they're like, yeah, it was a tricky crowd. Like they are just saying, look, I get it's not your fault, but that was shit.
Yeah. I think so. But also, I think with those rooms, like, it's so not your fault.
Yeah.
And I always think with like private members clubs, and this is why it's bad to have like, I think people think the big problem with having like a staff party, like a staff Christmas party for like a company at a comedy show, is that they're going to be very, very rowdy and boozy. And that is, I'm not denying that is part of the problem.
But that's catnip for you though. Because you're just good at it. You're a crowd work king.
Yes, but I want to do my art.
I know. But you're good. This is the nicest thing I'll say, but your crowd work is very good. So your crowd work is kind of, you know, is
yeah, but it's just, as soon as I get heckled, I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
I have to be amazing for a bit.
Right. Oh, I'd bleep that out. Bleep out and bleep out that. But I will say, you are like your crowd work. You are like a samurai. You are like incredibly good at crowd work.
I just always I started hosting. Like I started doing stand up before I had material.
Years ago, maybe it was 2019, something like that, when you were doing that stupid open mic you were running, where you wanted everyone to stay. What was that one?
You're acting like this is some kind of ridiculous rule that I have created and doesn't exist at like almost every open mic.
Well, you were enforcing it. That's all I know. And I was furious.
Sorry for making you hang out at a bar.
Yeah, everyone's just there. Every comedian just frowning, going up doing their five, coming
You're
back down.
You're acting like this is just all open mics in London. At most open mics in London, you have to fucking bring someone else to do the show.
To be fair, these open mics, a lot of these open mics do that. Like,
and
but
I'm like, look, we've got 10 actual humans here to watch the show. Do you reckon we could pad it out by keeping the 7 or 8 comedians just in the back few rows to make it feel like they're not alone?
It was fascist, and you were a tyrant. But this is on the way to me saying something nice. But even then, and this, you were only doing comedy maybe a year, 2 years. I don't know what you were doing it. But even then, your crowd work your hosting was. Sometimes it was already excellent. It was already really, really good.
Sometimes I get annoyed that. Like I'll be doing a show that I've worked really, really hard on and crafted. You know, you do 30 shows at the Edinburgh Fringe and you try and get it all together. And then in the tour, like just something like happens in the room and you just address it. And I'm like, yeah, that's bigger laugh than anything else, God.
But that'll be the biggest,
always the way.
But there's never nothing it's very unlikely that anything you're ever going to write. No, it will. Look, you're 27. You know what I mean? Like their time is on your side to get to a stage where the material is. But it's it's just a different type of laugh because it's in the moment, it's reaction. Like people killing with crowd work, like and generally when I see a comedian, I just want to see the material. I don't want to see the crowd work.
Yeah,
but myself. Unless it's certain types.
But you can weave it in and out. That's what it's about, and making it feel like. That's why Elephant in the Room is one of my favourite specials, Patrice O'Neill, because every bit feels like it just comes out of the crowd. But they're obviously like crafted.
It's all crafted that way. But it did that part when he looks at your one, and Jesus, I've never seen a woman chewing on a wasp more in my life. This woman just looking at him with this like defiant. She hates him because like every bit like thus far is like him just being like, but why can't we harass you like women? Why can't we harass you? So, and she's just
to clarify in context, it is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The bit that Patrice is doing. I wanted to be like
we want harassment day. Yeah.
It's such a good bit.
Because he said like men working with women is like a bear working with salmon.
A grizzly bear working with salmon dipped in honey.
Yeah. The men are just like you don't even know like if you talk too close to me, like I'm just like
like say hello to me too close.
But anyway, but he's looking at her and she is like just a picture of misery. She's
belligerent,
this defiant, like, you know, and he's just like, look at that face, look at her. And he points to mine, he's like, look what you have to put up with. And she's just looking at him like, and to be fair, from the video, you are just hating her, like, because
she's like, well, I know everyone's laughing, but I'm right.
That's right. It's just so, there's such a self-importance to it. And then she's just started this, and then he's like, look at her face. And then she just goes to Patrice, which is also like, she just goes, make me laugh, like that. Like, and it's just, which is such a cunty little thing to say. And also in my head, this little white woman saying this to Patrice, the black guy, like, make me laugh. I felt there was a bit of like,
there's a tone, there's like a power thing.
There's a little tone there of like, make me laugh, you fucking
But also, I think the problem
jester.
with it, because that's a heckle that comes up not infrequently, you know, it's kind of a style of heckle where it's like, you're not funny, or like, make me laugh or whatever. And I think the frustrating thing about that is that stand-up is a really fragile kind of bubble.
It's a flower.
It's just, but it's insane. Do you ever be stood at the back of a comedy club and zoom out and just be like, why is everyone listening to him?
No, I'm too deep in it now. When I went away from the pandemic and came back after 5 months,
see it for what it is.
I could see it for the fucking stupid charade that
it's mad. And I think what's annoying about hecklers going, make me laugh, it's like, yes, that's implicit.
Yeah.
Implicitly, you've all come here demanding that of me.
Yeah.
So please don't say it. Because this already is weird.
This is already
weird.
You're
addressing what's weird about it.
I'm already pretending I'm just up here, that I just stumbled onto the stage from nowhere and just started chatting to you. Like there's an actual reason for this.
And you're going, just shouting out what everyone's thinking.
That's right.
Make me laugh. It's like, but we don't want to.
What do you think I've been trying to do here?
You've got the audience have to come in.
Yeah.
And it says comedy club on the wall.
Yeah.
And there's a big laughy face on the back wall of the thing. There's all this stuff going on. And you're here to see a comedian telling jokes. But the audience have to, on some level, sit down and go, he's not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And just push that to the back of their mind as far as possible.
Yeah.
All of the try has to be like not evident to them.
That's right.
So that heckle of like, make me laugh.
Yeah.
It imposes effort
absolutely.
on the comedian.
100%. But it's also like, obviously that's what I'm trying to do. So obviously I'm doing that. And if I'm failing at that, which is sad for ye, because you're not getting to laugh that you've come to comedy thing, and it's sad for me because this is incinerating my soul in front of a group of people, and I'm gonna try to eat glass after the show, but also it's like then you shouting something like that, that's like if someone's like trying to lift a heavy rock and they can't lift it, and someone coming over to me and be like, lift the rock. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm clearly trying and failing to do right now. They're like, yeah, lift it. Lift the rock.
I love it. And it's so
nasty, rotten little people.
It's so insane that like audience members would be like, why doesn't he just make us laugh? It's like, brother.
Yeah.
I am trying.
Jesus.
We all want this to be going well.
You think I want this? I'm telling you right now. You think I want this? Thinking about the noose I'm going to make after the show right now in my head. You think this is for me?
There's just yarn in your head just creating.
As you're bombing, the yarn is just slowly like being put around your neck. But the thing about it is, and I think the thing that hurts me, hurts me as a sensitive person, if someone like shouts out a heckle when things are not going well, or like people are mean, is that like I am doing everything I can here. Like I'm like risking humiliation. I'm risking being vulnerable, talking about my willy not work, whatever it is, just to make you laugh.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do here, is make you laugh so that you get a laugh.
Well,
that's what I want.
It's almost like you walk on stage and go, right, audience members, what's the worst thing that happens to you tonight? And they go, oh, well, like we don't laugh as much as we wanted to.
Yeah.
Right. You know what the worst thing that could happen to me tonight is? Complete and utter public humiliation.
Yeah.
So let's just shut the fuck up for a second.
Come on.
If it goes badly, it's worse for me.
That's right. And that's when I start calling pedos. That's when I call every single person in the crowd a pedo. And that way, that's my new thing as well, is if you're not laughing, you're definitely a pedo.
Because you're thinking about kids. You're obviously distracted by
100%.
impure thoughts about children.
And what's funny when you do that is the people that haven't been laughing suddenly start going, they literally are like, just don't want to be pedos.
Yeah, you just can't be fucking.
Yeah.
You gotta squeeze out some laughs.
That's right.
I've left my Coke Zero over there. Is it okay if I grab it?
You go get it. Coke Zero, baby. It's good stuff. I got you a Coke Zero today.
Thank you for the kindness of the Coke
Zero. I get him Coke Zeros all the time. This is it. I'm not a monster. I'm not a loveless
Did anyone
husk.
think you were a monster?
No, I don't think so. They couldn't possibly. I think the warmth in my heart comes across on camera very strongly.
You're a kind and handsome chap.
Thank you very much. What was I going to say to you? I was going to say to you something. Oh yeah, so I was watching The Last Dance, right? Again, about Michael Jordan. Obviously, most people have fucking seen it. It's absolute fucking heroin for the eyes and ears. It's so decent.
Michael Jordan's a basketball player.
Yes. He's a famous basketball player. If you haven't heard of him, I assume that you're Amish and you've just started Rumspringa and this is your first time.
Such a cool thing, Rumspringa.
Yeah.
I'd like an opposite. Could I do a year of Amishness? Like a spring rummer?
I think so. I don't know what because I think they'd be afraid that you'd corrupt the Amish people with your kind of technology
charm
and
good looks,
subtitling and stuff like that. Okay, sorry. Well, no, maybe they would find you. You're not on Amish.
I'd ride rings around the Amish community.
You would. You'd have that community turned inside out within a year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd have somehow worked it to your own advantage. It'd be Angelone town now.
Because I can do that beard. I've shaved today. I gave up on the beard.
Yeah.
People were saying we were looking too similar with the double A beard. But I just gave up on the beard. I don't know.
It's not you.
Yeah.
You're a fresh-faced little boy.
Yeah.
You're a little child. You're a little baby.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of stubble. I like a little bit of
stubble. You're a little Italian baby.
Bambino.
Wow, you're a bambino. Be a bambino. And we need that. Do you need Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Caro.
What's that?
O mio bambino caro.
Ah, that's a song.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, man. Is that a Welsh one?
No, we talked about Welsh singing the other day.
Yeah.
It's quite a fun.
That's funny.
Welsh people, man. Big rugby lads just looking.
Fucking.
Blood of heaven.
They look like Albanian henchmen and then they're just singing the fucking I wouldn't even say lamest songs, but they're just like songs my mother sings.
Yeah, and it's the way they sing them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love the it's so mean when they do this actually at sporting events. I think football and rugby actually equally. I was going to say particularly rugby, but I think equally when it's international and they do the national anthems and they're panning across all the players. Number one, I like it when there's a short guy.
A little fat fella.
And the panning across just has to go
oh, they have to come down for Peter Clossy or someone like early on, or Keith Wood or something. For the hooker, they have to kind of pan down for that.
I'm a big fan of gunk and then it's just back up. But then also, I think it's so mean. Just don't cut the mic to the camera. don't cut to the camera mic so you can. They make you hear the footballers sing.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that to them.
Yeah.
They're trying.
That's right.
They're bad at. They're not supposed to be good at singing.
No, that's not their job.
Their thing.
They shouldn't be singing on TV.
Yeah,
They didn't want to sing on TV.
and they're just kind of shouting.
Yeah.
They're there going shoulder, like all the same notes. Shoulder to shoulder, together, standing tall. It's just like,
listen,
man.
Tyke Furlong would have went for the X Factor if that's what he wanted to do with his career.
It's not what he wanted.
If he had a beautiful voice, it would be fucking.
That would be so.
That would be
sick.
Susan Boyle-esque.
Who do you think?
If that fucking gargoyle, if that dickhead had a great voice, that piece of shit, they're scumbag.
They're doing very well,
Huh?
and we need to support them.
They bet South Africa, and I just
So good.
and I decided.
What a game!
Yeah, but
you watched.
No, I just watched the highlights after. I couldn't. I was gigging. I was working. I was earning a crust for my children, but. So
I left my agent's birthday party for an hour to go watch the rugby.
you should have left it for a week. You shouldn't be going to your agent's birthday
Here's
party.
a funny
You shouldn't be dining with the worms.
Here's a funny thing that I said it on stage yesterday, and I hadn't really thought about it properly. Of basically the headliner of the gig last night mentioned a couple of TV shows they'd been in just to tee up stories because they'd done like a couple, and they wanted to tell stories about it. And I went on after and was like, yeah, I haven't done any of those TV shows. You know, I got this agent recently, and they haven't really got me any TV stuff yet. But I did get an email last week, and then the subject line was filming, and I was like, oh fuck, here we go. This is a big chance. And it was from my agent's assistant, and it said, oh, don't forget, it's James, who's my agent. It's James's birthday, and we're collating videos from all of his clients, just saying, wishing him a happy birthday.
The first bit of work he's got you is to wish him happy birthday. The first bit of film work that you can do is to wish me a happy birthday. Are you glad you signed?
And he gets 15% of the money for that.
15% of the money, yeah. Jesus Christ. Worms. These people are worms. I'm surprised he hasn't been eaten by a bird. For fuck's sake.
But you watch the highlights because we're trying to get Michael into rugby.
Well, no, it's not. I think that the game of rugby on fucking paper.
It's splendid.
I wouldn't say don't say splendid again.
It's beautiful. It's adorable.
They're beautiful.
I adore it.
No, why are you using
great.
all this romantic language?
Sexy.
Sexy's fine. Sexy's better than fucking splendid.
Splendid?
Because you know that a lot of people are watching
it.
It's
a pleasant game.
eating a fucking roast pheasant and
It's
just
a
like
pleasant and delightful game.
Wilkinson kicks again, splendid.
Yeah,
You know, there's a lot
pleasant.
of that. Huh?
It's a pleasant game for
But it's
pleasant
not.
chaps.
No. It's a nasty little game for savages.
Pleasant and delightful
for,
on a
for
midsummer's
evil
morning.
colonizing savages. Like that is the type of people that play are people who would have been great Vikings. We know what they were famous for, raping.
And pillaging.
And pillaging. Don't forget the pillaging.
The pillaging was
What
more
is
of
a pillage?
The
What is a
pillaging was more
pillage?
of a B-side to the raping.
Well, it was an afterthought, it feels like. No one says they pillaged and raped. It's you raped and pillaged.
Yeah.
So they only pillaged if they got time.
This episode just got so horrifically demonetized on YouTube. It's crazy.
Yeah, but no, we haven't had one monetized.
Yeah.
So we should just start
Literally
every
no.
episode by just screaming rape. just like screaming it. Just rape! Yeah, take the money away. We knew you weren't giving it to us anyway. Now fuck off.
I tell you, so pillaging, I think, is like stealing things.
Right.
Stealing things. But it does feel like they did the raping and then they just kind of grabbed the change from the bowl on the way out of the house.
Yeah, but lad, I think
Stole their piggy bank on the way out.
Yeah, but you know they're just after coming, so they're all flush and they're just like, fuck, you know, they're not even doing a comprehensive job because they feel bad. You must feel bad as fuck if you're a Viking after like you've gone into a village and you've done that business, and then you must be like, after you come, you must be like, Jesus, and they're frightened, and you're like, Jesus, I'm fucking evil.
Are you talking about the post-nut clarity of a rapist?
Yeah. Imagine that fucking, you must be like, I am the most evil, rotten, dirty, dancing with the devil cunt that's ever lived.
Because you feel bad enough when you've watched like a porn and you like wank to it and you're like, God,
yeah.
I'm gross. Imagine you've just raped someone.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. This the word. Like, imagine that you just like you would hope that they feel, unless there was a post-nut clarity of like, yes, I've accomplished what I set out. But then you're just complete like in the evils. But like, but these guys, but then so they're going out and like, Jesus, I'm a piece of shit. I'm still gonna rob everything, but I don't. But
is that proof? Is the pillaging proof that the Vikings did not have post-nut clarity?
Maybe. I mean, but like I guess back then it was like
that was clarity. That was within the rules of the Overton window.
Yeah, but even like I guess it was like taboo back then not to sexually assault or whatever.
Do you know
like,
what's also so funny about this is a lady came up to me after the gig because I plugged our podcast because we were both on the show. I plugged it on stage and a nice lady came up afterwards, was like, what was the name of the podcast again? Would you mind typing it into my phone? And as I was typing it, she was like, yeah, because I love listening to Blindboy. I find it really, really soothing and it helps me get to sleep at night. And I was like, I think ours might be slightly less soothing.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
She was like, it's just the accent. And I'm like, I bet it isn't.
Yeah, Blindboy has empathy. As I was talking about like just mental health and your mental health regiment and your regimes.
Why is he from fucking the north?
He's from Northern Ireland. No, what does
I was gonna do?
How does Blindboy talk again?
Yort.
Yeah.
He's from Limerick.
Yeah, he's from Limerick. But anyway, he's
Good morning, you gorgeous piss witches.
Yeah. That's great.
You filthy bottles of Yakult.
That's a good impression, lad.
Well, I was going to do a sketch ages ago, so I practiced it for a while because I was going to do a sketch of like a northern, like a rival to Blindboy called like Deaf Boy Dumb Cunt or something.
Yeah.
Stupid like that. It's just him being like, well, actually, if you look into the history of vinyl, you'll find out that it was the Vikings.
Yeah,
the Vikings created vinyl. They were the originators of hip hop.
Yeah,
no, they weren't.
He does.
You're talking shite,
man. It's so interesting. Everything is so interesting. Do you know how shoes were actually invented by squirrels?
There's a monkey.
They invented them, and then it was the Celts.
The Celts, squirrels from Limerick.
And then the Celts found the squirrels, and they took all their shoes for themselves, and they never gave credit to the squirrels.
Bastards.
It was so interesting. He couldn't be more. He's absolutely fascinated.
Is one of my favorite tweets of all time.
Yeah,
it's up there with. Have you ever seen Bames Nons Having a Strunk?
I don't even know anything you just said there. Did you ever seen Young Donk Bong Blame Bonk?
Let me find it quickly.
What is it?
It's just because I've just thought of funny tweets. 1 second. Call a
right. So what? This is a tweet. Give some context to this.
It's a tweet.
Fucking tweet while you're searching.
There's a separate one. I found the tweet.
Right.
But then the other one I'm going to come back to is Blindboy's tweet in a second. But this is the Bond's name, James' name. Please to what? Bond names the James. Are you all right? Bames Non's having a strong call a bondulance.
What? Good God.
I think that's really funny. But also one of my favorite tweets of all time is when Blindboy did like a whole thread talking about how he'd been diagnosed with autism and how much of a shock it was and how much he was like learning from it. And I was like, man, I could have told you that.
Yeah.
You have a plastic bag in your head. You're one of the most autistic men in the world.
Well, like just carefully putting a plastic bag in his head every morning, wondering, is there anything I wonder if there's anything amiss with me. We'll need to get it diagnosed anyway. I'll need a professional opinion as he just ties the back of the plastic bag on his head. Do you know what we usually do is we put rubbish in plastic bags. You've decided to put your head in one. You've decided.
That's a clue.
There's the clue. We put shopping in a bag. You put your head in a bag. You've been carrying your own head of shopping for years. That makes sense? Your own head of shopping? Anyway, I was hoping to make more
Anyway,
sense.
but we're looping back to rugby. You said rugby is a colonizer sport, and I do
That's
agree.
right.
And it's something I really, really like. It's one of my favorite things about British colonial
You know
history.
Cromwell was an out half, like. You know what I mean?
No,
Absolutely.
flanker.
Cortez was a scrum
with
half.
that nose. No, he wasn't there.
Churchill was a hooker. Churchill was a prostitute.
I think.
I'm trying to
good
think who are the
stuff.
other absolute nasty characters. Like the Black and Tans definitely had like on their days
Like
off,
a seven-a-side
they
team,
were
probably.
definitely like fucking flinging
Yeah,
around the
playing
rugby
tag.
ball. 100%.
Yeah. But the it's one of my favorite things about British colonialism is that they went around the world and made every country play all their sports that they wanted them to play.
Yeah.
And then 9 times out of 10, the countries that they have just imposed a sport on are just so much better.
But like who? Like
Can you imagine being the British colonialist who went to New Zealand and was like, right, you just have to play rugby, and then all the fucking like Maori villagers like come over the hill,
Yeah.
and you're like just showing them all the rules to rugby, and then these fucking enormous guys come over there
on,
and you
start doing the
and you
haka.
just go, oh fuck,
they literally just start going,
and you're just like,
and then there's like hand them rugby ball, and they're like, and they're like, yeah, we're going to go back to England for a while. We'll see how you get on with it.
you're like, we should have taught these guys cricket. We fucked up.
They come back,
But even
they
when they
see
go-
Jonah Lamu, and
They're just like, yeah, we.
I don't know if we're gonna just Jonah Lamu like lamping through just 6 fucking Trevors in a row.
So funny to just oppress like nations around the globe, and you have to play this sport. This is our sport. We're spreading it. Blah 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 blah. And then hundreds of years later, they just get repeatedly just demolished, by these.
And we're spanking them now. Ireland are spanking them now as well, aren't we?
I've been for
They're
a while, man.
Filthy little
It's
Celtic
so
peasants that we are. Yeah.
Although this is what I liked about the Ireland South Africa thing, because everyone has this whole thing about like South African lads. They're a big fucking rough, brutal team, and everyone was like, Ireland just kind of
Brian
over.
Habana, wing.
What?
I just remember I don't know why.
Brian
It's just,
Habana, wing.
it's just like, do you know those little things where
Where they like
at
turn
the start-
around and fold their arms?
Yeah, when they're doing the thing, it's just Brian Habana, wing.
He was so fast. I loved him.
He cheated, didn't he?
He didn't.
Shut up. He did.
He didn't.
Don't be racist.
But he,
Well, black
If you
guy
watch-
can't run faster than a cheetah, can he not?
is that racist
You
to say
scumbag.
that?
Yeah. He bet a cheetah. You're trying to take it away from him.
I mean, I've watched the video. He was given like a 40-meter head start, and cheetahs don't understand competition.
and the cheetah doesn't even know it's racing.
Cheetah was just going for a walk, man. That's fucking
Cheetah's just
crazy.
lying down the ground. Brian runs over the finish line.
He has no concept of this,
Yes.
and Brian's like, wing.
I just like the cheetah. Cheetah. Animal.
But yeah, he didn't. But this actually raises a question, and
Yeah.
it came up on the Have a Word podcast recently because he got like a 40-meter head start.
Right.
And here's a question that and I've been arguing. I've had 2 questions I've been arguing with my
Did
friends.
they bring
in
it up
the pub
about Habana on Have a
No,
Word?
no. They brought a Usain Bolt
Right.
world record, 9.58 seconds.
Yeah.
100 meters. You're up against Usain Bolt in the prime. It's going to be 9.58 seconds.
All right.
If you beat him, you get 100 grand.
Nice.
Every 10 meters a head start you give yourself, you lose 10 grand.
Right.
Where do you think you can start?
Oh, fuck.
So if you start at 90 meters,
Yeah.
and you can run 10 meters in 9 seconds,
Right.
you win 10 grand.
50.
I think 50 as well.
50 meters. I'm going to go from 50 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my concern is you can't just cut your 100-meter time in half. Because I think my fastest 100-meter time ever was like 14 or 15 seconds. Not very fast, but it's going to be the slower half of your 100 meters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be 7.5 seconds. I think it might be like 10 for the first.
Right. Oh, yeah, I get you.
Because the
you're
second
not-
half is going to be at full tilt.
You're at full tilt. But I
Yeah.
think my second half is actually slower.
Mate, did you ever find that? Like, the
'Cause
first time you did the 100-meter
Yeah.
race, you were like, this is boring. Like, once you get up to full tilt, you're like, this is kind of boring.
Well, yeah.
Because
Course it
Usain
is.
Bolt is still, like, accelerating when he gets to the...
Yeah.
Which is just insane.
But I've reached full speed from like, I've gotten up, I'm running. After 2 seconds, it's like, I'm not getting any faster than this. This is long distance now.
It's over, yeah.
I'm like Mo Farah.
It's over.
Just finishing out the rest of my 100 meters.
Oh my God, but did you see Kipchoge,
Who the hell is that?
Marathon world, he did a marathon in under 2 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Under 3 hours.
Who's this fucking chancer?
Mate, the speed he runs the whole marathon at, I think it's like, I swear it's like a sub 20-second 100-meter time.
He's just sprinting the whole marathon.
Like he's running faster than you could run for like 2 minutes.
Well, he's just a Boston's dynamic robot, lad. I swear, no, I'm not even joking. A lot of them are now. A lot of them are.
A lot of the Kenyans are
A lot of the Kenyans are
Kenyan dynamics.
Kenyan dynamic robots. No, I swear to God, I think a lot of people win in the things and people are like, how are they doing that? It's just because they're a robot.
Yeah, and
because
drugs.
Mark Zuckerberg.
They're a robot on
Mark
steroids.
Zuckerberg's son. You know what I mean? He can't, like, I feel Zuckerberg, I'm genuinely believe this. I think I might have said it before, but I do believe that Zuckerberg is and I'm not joking around this, I think he's an AI. And I'll tell you why I think that. I also think that the guy who's head of ChatGPT is an AI.
An actual Israelite?
Yeah, absolutely. they're Israelis, also known as Jews. Now, well, Zuckerberg is Jewish. I mean, he's not hiding that in his name.
He's not hiding it well.
No. But Zuckerberg and the guy, like, they're just like, they can't, like, anytime you talk to them, I've heard them on like Lex Friedman podcasts and stuff, and they're just like, and like Lex will be like, and do you not see that, you know, the damage that this is doing to humans? Well, actually, no. Actually, because like he was like to Lex was like to Zuckerberg, he's like, because obviously like social media since its birth in 2012, like the suicide rates of like young women have gone like doubled, and the anxieties of young people has gone through the roof. And it's like to Zuckerberg, so like, what would you say to that? And Zuckerberg's like, well, actually, I think in a lot of cases, Instagram reduces anxiety among young people, and there are studies that have shown that it actually makes people's arms stronger and brains better, and it actually feeds them nutritionally in a lot of ways. There are studies that have been shown that I paid for myself.
That have been shown funded by me.
Yeah, and he literally, there's no. I'm like, and then he's like, would you be worried about AI? Not at all. I think that if we all live on the metaverse, and if people pay me to have imaginary shoes on the metaverse, that this will be good for society. Yeah. Like, there's just zero. Like, if to be fair to Musk, give Musk his due, and we don't often give him his due because he's a fucking idiot.
Stupid cunt.
Because he's a stupid cunt who sleeps on the floor like a dog. But
does he?
Yeah.
Is that a thing about Musk?
Musk sleeps on the floor like a dog, lad. He that's what he used to do. When he was the like head of like fucking like, he's still the head of like Tesla, but he used to be in there. It was one of his things that
on the floor of his office.
Yeah, so like workers would come in the next day, and Musk could just be asleep on the floor, like just passed out on the floor. And this was a thing like of like motivation, like so workers would come in and they'd be like, oh shit, Elon hasn't even been home. He's sleeping on the floor. We need to work harder. And like that was
he's
the
been
whole
in the
thing.
office all night doing fuck all.
That's right, just wanking. There's just tissues all around him, just down like that.
Because he's not an engineer.
No,
he bought Tesla off someone like early doors.
Yeah,
and now just pays really clever people to make stuff that explodes.
Yeah, but like, you know, you have to assume he's no kind of piss. He's not thick as shit. But but he'd be there sleeping on the floor.
Judging by his tweets or his posts on X.com.
Yeah.
Which is still called Twitter.com. I think it's so funny he's changed all the branding, except when you log on, it is still through the website Twitter.com.
But it's also such a lame name, just X.
Yeah, he's just a fucking dork.
He just loves, you know, he's just like a home in his like room dressed as Wolverine, just with his cock out. I called it X after X-Men. You know, and then he's just wanking off.
I think he might actually be stupid. I think it's like hack to say that he is stupid, but like the things
No, he's not stupid.
You can't have that bad of a sense of humor if you're smart.
He's a genius.
What?
He's an absolute genius.
What's he ever done that is genius?
He created PayPal. Did
he?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Tesla, SpaceX. He's the richest man alive. How would he have done that? How would he be the richest man alive from South Africa if he wasn't a fucking genius?
He had a fairly substantial bit of startup cash.
He's a genius. Don't be fucking stupid, all right?
His dad owned an emerald mine. Huh? His dad owned an emerald mine in apartheid South Africa.
My father owns a lovely farm in Ireland. Look where I am, sitting beside you, talking about cocks. Right? Could have went a lot of ways for Elon Musk.
Yes, but emeralds are worth more than milk.
Huh?
Emeralds are worth more than milk.
Now. Wait till time. Milk's rising, baby. People need it. Wait till time. Wait till time happens. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever thought of doing that? Have you ever thought of waiting until time? You stupid cunt. But I will say that though, it's funny because I think if Musk's thing of like sleeping on the floor, if you did that in Ireland, like if someone came in and the boss was sleeping on the floor, like in America, it's like, this is motivating. In Ireland, I think you'd just be like, I'm quitting.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Like if getting to the top, if I get to the top of the top and I run the company, I'm going to be sleeping on the floor like a dog. That's the height of things can get.
Yeah.
This is the guy who's killing it. Is sleeping on the floor like a dog. I'm just going to quit now.
This is what we're all aiming for.
This is what I'm aiming for. Sleeping on the floor with a dog with cum tissues all around my head like a halo. No.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a little fucking cum-filled bonnet on top of my head.
Why are we talking about Elon Musk?
It doesn't matter, but we're getting back to The Last Dance because I wanted to...
Well, we were talking about rugby as well.
Yes.
Well, what I thought was funny is like a lot of the thing was Ireland kind of overpowered the South Africans. I'm sure you saw some of this in the...
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that like...
They bullied them and I
a
didn't
lot
like
of the
it.
South Africans are like big, muscly fellas.
Yeah.
But the Irish strong lads are just like farm strong. And I thought you would appreciate this.
Yeah, I do.
They've got like a...
Because it makes me feel good.
They're not chiseled.
Yeah.
Not big biceps, not Eden.
Yeah.
You see Eden Etzebeth?
Yeah.
He's a big fucking muscly bastard.
But you could pop it with a pin.
But
You could pop his muscles with a pin.
Ian
They're balloon
Henderson,
muscles.
Ian Henderson, just like lad from Belfast, shoulders don't look that big or whatever, but it's like all the strength is in like their hips.
Well, he's like Fionn
Farm
McCool.
strong, just like
Well, he's Fionn McCool. He's been made by the mountain, the wind, the soil.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
these fucking lab rats. That's what they are. They were made in the
Yeah.
lab. These fucking little balloon fucking muscles.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could
Mirror
burst them.
muscles.
He'd eat them. He'd eat them.
Yeah.
He'd eat the muscle off
Yeah,
their bones.
yeah. And I love
like
all
a
the
little
big,
wolf.
massive Irish guys have like the second rows. They always have like little sweet boy faces.
Yeah.
You ever seen James Ryan's face?
But you know how much butter they were eating on their spuds growing up?
Yeah.
So they have little buttery boy faces.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all they're ever
James
going to
Ryan
have.
looks like a Who from Whoville. You know, from The Grinch. He's 6'7" and but he's got the face of like Lucy Who or whatever her name is.
Because they're you know, like now, and I'm saying this as someone who's obviously been very critical of the Irish rugby team.
Yes, but we're getting you back on side. They're good boys with
No, I don't
buttery
think they're good
boy
boys.
faces.
I think they are like rotten, evil colonizers, and Tom Spurlong threw my lighter on the ground, and that will never be forgiven of him.
We're gonna meet him one day.
And I'm gonna kick this shit out of him. I'm not.
No,
he
you're
would
really
actually.
not.
He would actually be able to just. He would actually be able to just like eat me off of a plate. I think.
Yeah.
Like I think he could actually. He could just rip limbs off me. Like my.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just like a
almost certainly.
like an ogre from.
But we're gonna meet him one day. This podcast is gonna continue to be successful, and people are gonna share it and nice things like that. And we're gonna meet him at some kind of like drinks reception one day for all the best Irish people in the world.
I'll throw a glass in his face
No.
and say, "How dare you!"
No, and we'll be pals. We'll reconcile the differences between you and Tag for a
What
long.
I'll do is I'll go up to him. I'll just be like, "You have a lighter," and like as if he's going to remember that moment where he threw my lighter on the ground.
What if he picked up the lighter from that day? What if he took it out of his pocket and he was like, "I've been trying to find you for years.
I wronged you. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. This is the reason I've been working so hard at rugby." And then he retires from rugby because he's finally found peace because he gave you your lighter back.
Yeah. I'd say forgiveness isn't in my dictionary, and I light his cock on fire. Light his cock aflame.
And also, the other thing that I've been enjoying, I don't know if you've seen this, Bundyaki is having a very, very good tournament for Ireland.
That's your man. That's not from Ireland.
Yeah, and this is what everybody's saying about him, that he's not Irish just because he was born in New Zealand.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong, lad. I liked when we had Tony Cascarino. We had a million players that played for the Republic of Ireland that didn't even have a connection to Ireland. Bring them over.
Yeah, they just
Get 'em in.
they had a pint of Guinness once.
If the whole Irish team was New Zealand players, I'd like them a lot more. I'd be like, this is sick. I can get behind this. Bundyacky's my favourite player.
Yeah, I like the spoof that his name is short for Bundoran Ackle Island. But Bundyaki, people say like, oh, it's just a residency thing. And I'm like, that man has lived in Galway for 9 years.
Yeah.
Nobody has earned it more. Just weather beaten by the Atlantic winds.
Lack of
and the
vitamin C for
rain
him is going to affect his
and
mental
just
health.
Fucked.
Yeah.
He's played for Connacht for 9 years.
He's needed to take vitamins, vitamin D, just to be happy.
He's more Irish than any of us.
Yeah, I mean, he's not, but...
9 years on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Exposed to the elements.
I know, fair enough, good. I'm not saying he can't play for the team, but is he more Irish than a man who grew up on the bog in Kilkenny? No, of course not. I'm.
You'll never be as Irish as Bundyaki.
Well, you'll never be as Irish as me. How does that feel?
I'm half Irish.
That threw you right in the fucking boop.
Threw me right in the boot.
That was a little dart to your heart.
No, I'm half Irish.
Huh?
I'm half Irish.
Yeah, and half Irish, half autistic. Half Irish, half ambition.
Yeah.
Half Ireland, half ambition. No, but you're half
Irish, half raw ambition.
But you're not half Italian, are you?
Yeah.
But your dad's parents are both Italian, are they?
Yeah.
All right, so you are actually completely, fully half Italian.
Yeah.
Right. How do you think that's shaped your personality as opposed to an Irish person? How do you think that's made you different?
I'm just like very handsome and charming, I think.
No, because genuinely, it's famously you're not. But
right, so
well, no, you are handsome.
What's Italian about me?
Yeah, what is Italian
Slightly
about?
more confidence than your average Irish person.
That's absolutely
maybe?
right. What the fuck's up with that? That upsets people.
That's like probably an Italian
It's
thing.
good for your life, but it upsets other people.
I like wearing bowling shirts.
You do like wearing bowling shirts. That's kind of Tony Soprano-esque. You wouldn't be able to play in a strip club.
No, I hate strip clubs.
Huh?
I'm not a strip club boy.
Because you're afraid. You're afraid of the tits.
No, I don't think I'm.
Because that's very un-Italian. Because you're the most
Well,
tit-loving people of all
That's the
time.
most Irish thing about me is that I'm very. Oh, I wouldn't want to.
You're a prude.
Yeah.
You are a little.
I've got the prudishness of an Irishman.
That's
but
from your mum. That's from your.
the bowling shirts of an Italian.
Would your mother be like squeamish about sex and stuff? Like, would she like if that came up? Would she be like, "Oh, go turn that off"?
She wouldn't. I don't think she would. Yeah, and also like spiders.
Huh?
She doesn't like spiders.
Would you talk to her about shagging?
No.
No.
Would you talk to your mum about shagging?
No, she doesn't like it, but sometimes I'll say it. Well, you listen good. I've been shagging like a champ, Betsy. Your son Michael loves it. Loves a finger in his bum. How about that? And then I get asked to leave the dinner table. And I don't get any custard and apple tart.
I wouldn't want
That's
that.
how it goes. You'd hate custard and apple tart, lad.
Fuck that, man.
That'd be what the fucking like the Chinese would be giving you to torture you and get Western secrets out of you. Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Oh, lad, I was going to talk to you about because The Last Dance, because it reminded me of a story. So,
and you were watching The Last Dance. This was in your pursuit of figuring out why I'm so successful and cool. Because I'm the Michael Jordan of this podcast.
And that would make me the Scottie Pippen of this podcast.
No, you're like the Horace Grant.
That's actually, you think that's because you don't know enough about basketball, but that's actually a big compliment.
BJ Armstrong.
No, that's not as big a compliment. But the Horace Grant one, he was actually completely integral to those first three championships.
You're the Tony Kukoc of this podcast.
I'll take Tony Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc is good.
I'm the best European player on this podcast.
You're the Bill Wennington of this podcast.
No, that's not. No, I'm not. I'm not Bill
just
Wennington.
Big, tall, useless cunt.
No! What? Hey! What the hell? Shut up. You're Michael Jordan's wife. That's who you are. And I'm Michael Jordan. And I'm going to leave you. Big divorce payout for you, but I'll be gone. But so I was looking at it, and I obviously, like The Last Dance, a lot of people have seen. I'm watching it again, and it's just fucking shoving heroin straight up your cock. It's so good. You forget that sometimes. You're like, oh, there's nothing to watch. Just watch something great you've watched already.
Yeah,
and watch it again. It'll be great again.
There's no anxiety of what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You can be safe.
Yeah. Even when I watched The Last Dance the first time, believe it or not, I knew what was going to happen.
Spoilers.
I knew they were going to win.
It's historical fact.
That's right. But I remember, it reminded me when I was living in Chicago, right? There was one day I was in the back of a... Do you know, Americans are just...
Of course, you have a connection to The Last Dance because you're a Chicagoite.
I was in Chicago.
Is that the word?
A Chicagonian. Because I would have called it Chicago, is what we call it in the city. Chicago is what people in the city call it. So I was a Chicagonian. So as a Chicagonian, when I was in Chicago, the Blackhawks won the World Series. So
That's the
ice hockey.
okay.
Ice hockey. You were about to say a dumb thing.
Did you say you should have said Stanley Cup? The World Series is baseball.
Yeah, they won the Stanley Cup, and then the Cubs won the World Series when I was there as well.
Right, so you were
For
wrong.
the first time in years, huh?
You were wrong
About what now?
when you said the World Series, and then you had to go with me. You came straight in, you leant in, you pointed at me,
Yeah,
and you said that I was silly. And I agree. I didn't know what sport the Blackhawks were,
that's right.
but I knew that the World Series was baseball.
Yeah,
And you pointed at me.
that's right. And I said you were a stupid dumb cunt. Honestly, in general, if we add up everything you say, you still are that. But in this instance,
On aggregate,
I was wrong.
Is there like away goals of dumb country?
Yeah. But what I've done there is I've scored an own goal. Have I? That's what
But
I've
I think
done.
we're probably drawing because I was wrong about the Black Hawks. Can you say that? Hawks of color?
Huh? Yeah, Hawks of color. Yeah,
Hawks of
or
color.
African American Hawks.
Urban Hawks.
Yeah, urban Hawks. Yeah, but don't say Black Hawks again, because you can't say it. I can't say it because people know my heart. People are still on the fence about you, whether you're good or bad, whether you're a Sith Lord. You're like Anakin Skywalker. It's like, is he going to
Kill all them kids?
Right, yeah. And he did kill so many kids. People don't really talk enough about how many kids he killed.
Master
But-
Skywalker, what are we going to do?
Yeah. He absolutely slaughtered them. That was such a that was like a wild turn when he killed all those kids.
Order 66.
Yeah. That was like, because he came from like, is he going to turn evil? Next thing, just fucking
Yeah, real 0 to 100
kids
vibes.
murdered, and you're just like,
Yeah.
like, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, he might as well have just started saying like slurs.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
at
no,
the-
after that, just get your cock out, start just raping. It doesn't matter now. You've killed 100 kids. There's no moral way back for you. It's over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But so when I was a Chicagoan or a Chicagonian, and I was living there, I was in this taxi with a fella or an Uber, and we were just driving along. And just Americans are just so out of their mind.
This
like it's-
Uber pool or like a fella?
no,
you
no,
knew?
no, just me and
Were you
the
into
guy.
the Uber pool thing when it was pooling?
Well, the Uber pools where you share Ubers with
Yeah.
other random people.
I loved that.
Yeah, I would do that a bit.
So fun. You'd have a wee chat with a stranger and pretend to be someone else for a bit.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
In Uber pools, I would just spoof that I was like some kind of tech overlord.
Yeah, as in like you were kind of like that you were the Irish Zuck or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Muckerberg.
There you go. Up the lads. Okay, so I'm going into this story now. I'd say, swear to God, you could get a Nobel Prize for keeping me away from a story.
You have to indulge every tangent on a podcast. That's the whole point. All we're doing is filling time.
We're not filling time. This is important. There's an art to this. There's a craft, and there's nourishment.
This whole podcast is you tell a story, I grasp onto a little detail of it, go on a little flight of fancy, and then we get back to the story.
Okay, fair enough. Now we're in the
Sorry to peel back the curtain for the folks at home there, but
That
you can't
is-
be telling me off for tangents. It's a podcast.
I know.
Tangents are the lifeblood of podcasting. If we got straight to the point, every episode would be 12 minutes long.
Look, I understand that. I get that. But this particular story, I have been trying to start for 30 minutes. And I do understand that on the 7th tangent, I was still okay. But the 8th tangent, I was like, come on.
Okay.
Hey now. Hey now. All right. So now, I'm in the back
You've
of
gotten
it.
closer to me again.
Of course I have, because I'm trying to get through to you. I can't communicate with you from here. It doesn't get in. I literally have to just fucking spoon feed words into that head. So anyway, I'm going on this Uber, and your man's driving in front of me, and he just goes, hey man, he's like, did you know it was my birthday today, man? And as he was driving, and I was like,
How would you know?
and how on God's green earth
Like
would I
as
know
if
that?
you on like some social media apps, like when it's your birthday, like balloons come down the
That's
screen.
right.
Like when you get an Uber and it happens to be his birthday. Just like
balloons. Yeah,
and now you're like obliged to leave a big tip
that's right.
because you're like,
Yeah. So
I don't have a cake.
exactly. So we're driving
Sure, he
around.
wouldn't let you eat it in the car. Go on.
No. But so we're driving around, and he's like, did you know it's my birthday, man? And then and I was like, no, I must have forgot. And I must have forgot about your birthday. And then he goes, oh, hey man, he said, yeah, guess who I share a birthday with, man? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's like, dude, guess. And I was like,
of all the humans that have ever lived,
right, absolutely,
guess.
And I was like, I don't know, Nelly, you know what I mean? And then he's just like, no, dude.
He was like, nah.
Yeah. But he literally said, I was like, Nelly, and he's just like, no, dude, as if like, Nelly's the last person I share a birthday with. Like,
as if he's a choice.
Yeah, as if it was the dumbest thing ever. He's like he looks at me, he's like, no, dude. He's like, no, dude. He's like, Michael fucking Jordan. I share a birthday with Michael Jordan. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You must be good friends then, are you? And he just said, no, man, I have never met him. And I was like, all right, that's cool. That's great. And then he goes, oh man, he said, and guess who my wife shares a birthday with? And then I was just like, I don't know, man. He's like, guess. I was like, Nelly. He's like, no, no, dude. And I was like, all right, man, I don't know. And then he goes, LeBron James. And I was like, and before you ever get together, he's like, no, man, we've not met. You know? And then, so then he goes, he's like, he goes, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. And then I just goes like, as a joke, I said, and then if you have a kid, it'll probably share a birthday with Kobe Bryant. And then he just goes, not necessarily, man. Not necessarily. This is just the dumbest guy. And then he just started telling me, after that, just the most arbitrary. He's like, man. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I've got 1,500 DVDs in my basement, man. And I was like, all right,
this is a real insight into a sad man's life.
Yeah, he's like 1,500 DVDs, and he thought I was just going to be like, oh, it's
man,
like
that's so many DVDs.
So many DVDs.
I have Netflix.
Yeah, I have the internet, so I have every film that's ever been made.
Do you know every single one of them? I can watch it.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I have floor space.
Yeah, but even like the Michael Jordan DVDs, it's like if this was 2001, you'd be the king of the world.
Yeah.
But like,
you should have sold them a long time ago.
That's right. But then even I was like just trying to make conversation with him. So I was like, oh, what's your favorite movie? He's just like, doesn't matter to me, man. And I was like,
what?
I know, yeah. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, but you have to have a favorite one. He's just like, I like them all, brother. And I was like, yeah, but like, if you had to choose between like The Godfather and fucking Sharknado 5.
Yeah.
And he was like,
there's a choice.
I think they're both great films. And like, so you just like...
Just likes everything?
He just likes movies.
I'm quite into this.
Yeah. It kind of is a fun attitude where it's just like, if there's
I often think when I'm watching a movie, I'm very good at turning off my critical faculties.
Right.
I'll just accept it for whatever it is.
I think that's good.
You know what I mean? Like you're watching The Expendables and you're like, old guys and explosions.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm expecting from this. And it fucking delivers.
Yeah.
Why would I be annoyed about that?
No,
it is what it is. If you go in with an expectation that it's going to be life-changing or it's going to change your perception of the world and your thoughts about capitalism, go fuck. That's your fault.
Hey now.
You fucked up.
Whoa.
Not you personally.
Hey.
The royal you of like, just, I think people go into these, like, I so rarely dislike a film.
Yeah, but you rarely like one. You don't watch many films.
I do. I watch all the films.
You don't. You just watch films about wizards and like cats that make soup. That's it.
I've one film I disliked and left early, The Irishman.
What?
I left it early.
Great film.
What?
Great fucking film.
Oh, can we agree on too long?
No, it absolutely whizzed by for me. Not a problem. The story, the characters, was the CGI and the stuff dumb? Yes, it was.
Here's my problem with The Irishman, because people always think I'm going to like it, and it fucks me off.
They think you're going to like The Irishman?
Yeah, because they're like, it's Italian guys, but also Irish guys. That's like right up your fucking street.
Right, but the Irish guy is Robert De Niro, a famous Italian man.
Yeah, but also like just people assume I'm going to like all that shit. And I'm just like, listen, if I wanted to see old Italian men sneakily hand each other envelopes full of money, I would go to my dad's birthday.
Which you haven't been attending? Is that what you're saying? Which you've been boycotting Carlo's birthday. Poor old fucking Carlo.
But here's how long The Irishman was. I went to the cinema to watch it.
Yeah.
With Jamali Maddox. And sat down to watch it. She tapped me in the arm and went, how long's left? And I looked at my watch and went, 2.5 hours. And she was like, can we go? And I was like, yeah. We get up, we leave, walk 10 minutes down the road, I get a haircut.
Yeah.
Finish the haircut, the movie's still not over.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No. Jamali, now what's happened there is that's bad. She's not a good lady.
I wanted to leave as well.
I hear you, but that's weak. But she shouldn't.
Bad and too long movie.
She shouldn't be encouraging you in that. Like when it's an hour in and she's like, "How long's left?" Weak. You've come to the movie. You sit in the movie. You watch the movie. You have an opinion on the movie. If you're not liking it an hour in, you see where it goes. Right?
What?
You're not going to be liking fucking reading
make a call.
James Joyce's Ulysses 50 pages in. It's a load of gobbledygook. But if you finish to the end,
it's more gobbledygook.
You'll be like, I read all the gobbledygook. Now I can actually have an opinion on it rather than sitting there for an hour leaving like a fucking coward.
You don't have to muscle through things. This is
you're wrong.
This is your dad's opinions coming out.
No, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Your dad just thinks, oh, it's bad, but you have to just push through. You don't have to push through. You can just stop.
Halfway through a shit, you're going to stop. No. You've got to push it all out.
Shits are good.
But listen to me right now, because you're wrong on this one. If you're going to come on here, on this platform, where we've got upwards of
30 listeners.
Yes. So we've got
upwards of 30.
Thousands of young, impressionable minds listening to this, and you're coming out here.
At least a dozen people listening to this.
At least a dozen. And you're coming out with these flamboyant socks, suggestive socks, whorish socks today. You're already a fucking...
Shout out to Oddballs.
Anyone who's on our Patreon knows, because there's a fucking whole episode about how he's been selling his fucking toes for money, come money. Yeah?
Shout out to Oddballs. My friend Matthew is the brand manager for Oddballs for like getting them to
Stop
sponsor
selling
stuff.
Shit.
But they can't sponsor this. Like we're so not brand friendly.
Right.
We were also supposed to have our first sponsor today, but we forgot.
And then we started screaming rape at one point, I remember. Now, that's not going to help socks, rape socks.
We'll start with the sponsor next week, do you think? Yeah, I think that would be good.
Get up in the morning, put on my rape socks, then I go to work.
Now, we've got rubber bits at the bottom for grip.
That's right. Oh, whoa. Cut that out. What are we trying to do here? Now listen, I'm already being whizzed around WhatsApp groups as a villain. I can't take any more of this.
You've got your own taste of the Vittorio medicine.
We'll talk about that in the fucking Patreon. But what I want to say to you is if you're going to come out here and poison the fertile impressionable minds of our listeners by saying The Irishman's a bad movie, you better have fucking seen the movie. Because if you left after an hour and have watched less than 33% of the movie and you're calling it bad, that's irresponsible from you. You are a tastemaker, an influencer, okay? a young Marcus Aurelius. You can't if The Irishman comes out, Martin Scorsese movie, if this new movie comes out, Flower Moonhead or whatever
I'm really
it is,
looking forward to that.
and you sit and you watch the whole movie.
I will watch the whole movie.
So then you can have an actual opinion on the
Unless it's
movie
shit.
and not be influenced by Lady Macbeth whispering in your ear and being like, let's go, get you a haircut. Come on. You're better than that. You think Joe Pesci and De Niro and Scorsese got together one last time, trying real hard? They're old for an Italian, no less, to walk out after an hour.
So you've watched it to the end.
Of course I did. And I came.
And you think it's great?
I think it's great.
Jesus Christ.
The Irishman was a great movie.
I watched Oppenheimer is pretty much the same length and it's great. And I normally don't like Christopher Nolan.
Oppenheimer's a good movie.
It's brilliant. It earns how long it is.
I think it's don't get me wrong.
The Irishman was ponderous.
You've got little Albert Einstein popping up.
It's great. It's great to see a guy playing Albert Einstein. And it's so fun. Such a distinctly recognizable guy. You just go.
And like I was just laughing every time he came on the screen. Yeah. Like, look at that Aegis.
Mad looking cunt.
Oh, Einstein was I heard a great. Who made I think it was Shane Gillis or someone made like the impression that he's like all geniuses because he's talking about how Louis C.K.
Yeah,
just
they're
always
so
has just like
stinking.
crumbs on him
Yeah.
and stuff. Like he's just super
There's that
snarky.
Louis
It's like,
special where he just has like a stain on his jumper. It's like Jesus
like
Christ.
you just know Einstein was like he's just like Einstein's
Gross.
breath stank. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, all geniuses have like a filthy underneath their foreskin.
Yeah.
Like big smegma guys.
Oh, big smegma. Lad, the first time I came, I didn't know about, nobody told me about smegma. So, because I started fucking jizzing so late, because I was such a latent jizzer, I didn't know about it. And I was just, you know, literally just fucking because I was used to rattling off, could be 4 or 5 wanks a day because there was no cleanup. So I was just boom, 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 everywhere. Just night fever,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Wanks
John
of the
Travolta,
astral realm.
absolutely. You know how to do, just wanking everywhere, as in class, in the attic, wherever. Now, next thing, it becomes fucking, you know, it's like the floodgates have opened and it's fucking Jizz City. And Try didn't know the procedure. So then, after a few months of just fucking I pull back the foreskin, and sure, it's like fucking Willy Wonka's smegma factory down there. It was just thick. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm a monster. What is this? It was.
I knew I should have stopped this
It was
line of
proper
conversation
cheese.
earlier than
It was
I did.
Charnival cheese.
Why did I bring up smegma?
It was Dubliner cheese.
Why did I bring up smegma?
You put it in my head. Now I've said things about it.
This is foolish.
I revealed things about myself.
This is foolish.
And I opened it up, lad. I swear to God, I could have made a fucking hanging cheese sandwich with this stuff.
Patreon.com/parenting for the extra episode
I've got
every
so
week.
much stuff about ice cream cones. I have to talk about
Do you
this.
have anything to plug as well? Your
being in
special
trouble.
may well be out.
My special. So what date is this coming out?
Fuck knows.
Fuck knows. So go watch my special on YouTube. It's out. I'm going to say it's out on YouTube now.
I would guess that.
Disgrace.
It's on this YouTube page.
Yes.
Unless you're on the pog, then you're not on a
Yeah.
YouTube page. Then
So-
go to the YouTube. The link will be in the description.
Links will be in the description. It's good. Comment, like, share. I'll need positive comments. That would really help me because some people are going to say that I'm rotten and nasty and shit, and you need to say, hey, no, he's not. There is a nastiness, there is a cruelty, but he's a good man.
If you could just comment, just want to get out ahead of this. Mike isn't a bastard.
Yeah.
Like that should be all the comments.
Or just a
No, Mike isn't a bastard. Actually.
Yeah.
Even if nobody has said you are a bastard, I think just comment. No, actually, Mike isn't a bastard, actually.
Yeah, or just like funniest special of the last 100 years or something like that. Anyway, see you on the Patreon.
Listen,
Bye-bye.
as if I don't have things to plug.
What?
Watch my special. My tour tickets are on sale now all around the UK and Ireland. Please buy them, you motherfuckers. See you there.
Goodbye.
Patreon.com/parenting. Bye.
Bye-bye.